Hey, I'm Kev welcome back to rFactor 2 for another Tatuus Racing Series video. As we get on the way for 20 minutes round Pukehoke Park. Around 2.7 kilometers or 1.6 miles long, 11 furious corners. It's fast, it's bumpy, especially for this first corner. And it is fierce, so as you start 14th out this 20 car field against 85%. Opponent difficulty 50% aggression, 50% damage multiplier. We've already been punted round, so that times round they were pretty quick, only around a minute one, I'd say, for this level. When in real life, Liam Lawson did the fastest lap in the final race of 59.9 in these cars around here. So we've got to take some avoiding action. But there's one more place made up. So there's a lift there. Oh, what's the driver in front doing? I think go side by side through this bumpy first corner. Let's talk you through that round this circuit. And then you brake around the 50 with a chicane. What the hell is that car doing? Coming from off track to hit us. That's pretty nice. Then normally you go through turn 2 in second gear and accelerate hard for the back straight. For this chicane which got installed around, well, permanently installed around a decade ago. It used to just be flat before the hairpin. Now as you can see, accelerate into it. Very heavily into there. Good passing spot. And then flat out through the sweeping left and right to end the lap here. So we're in last. Let's see how far back up the order we can. We've got to have around 18, 19, maybe 20 laps. Who knows? It'll be a long race that wise. I do love this circuit. Remember when the supercars raced around here? It was good fun. Good chaos as well. And now it holds the 4th round of the Tatuus Racing Season 2020. And what an exciting few races we had as well. So after Hampton Downs having some good races round there. But the third race especially was just chaos round here. It was, and it started with a couple of safety cars in the first race. Of course, we had the young Frenchman, Amelia Denner, crashed just where we got bundled out. Pouring out the first safety car. We had Lucas Peterson as well. The Swede went off the back of his best result. Tatuus Racing Series 2020. Having issues. He lost his front wing. I was thinking of the last race actually. That's where Peterson had that happen. Or was it the first race? It might have actually been the first race. As always, trying to get on the power, but the first race was dominated by Lawson and Fraga, the championship contenders. Fraga leading after Lawson's retirement in the last race in Hampton Downs. And at the start, Fraga got the getaway. Superb start on the outside of the front row. Led through the first couple of corners, but then Lawson with a great move into the chicane and the back straight, take back the lead, and despite lots of pressure from the Brazilian, the young Creamy held on for a vital victory to close the gap to his title rival in the championship. And behind them you had Carlo Pinto, who was probably the star of the weekend, apart from Lawson. He was absolutely superb round here, was the young Argentinian. I'm much looking forward to see what he can do the rest of this season, because he's come on leaps and bounds. Like, he's showing pace. He just never quite got a whole weekend together till here, round 4. And that's after getting his first victory in Hampton Downs as well. That confidence oozing through. Yeah, he finished on the podium in every race. The only driver to do that. Even Lawson could do that in the second race. So yeah, very impressive top 3. Now behind you had Sonoda, who was once again a bit underwhelming, Yuki. Like, he had that win early in the season at Highlands, and before he's just getting used to seeing he's already winning, he's going to push on. He hasn't. The thing he suffered with in round here was again qualifying gremlins, as that's a bit of a dive. But just being quick in the first couple of laps of a stint, he's just not that good. Like, it's good when you have a long run, like that's something we quickly notice as you dive it. Like, his driving style might be good for the Pirellis that are racing F2. He's going to be racing for Cardin this season, but yeah, with the Hancocks, which are just hard tyres, but they might weigh a bit towards the end of races, but I haven't really seen it. That's what you're doing behind, man. Oh, he jumped over the curb again. This time we survive. But yeah, on these tyres, these driving styles just did not work to switch them on immediately, unlike Lawson, Fraga, Pinto. Yeah, it's almost into the back. Right front. Watch yourself. So yeah, disappointed again from Sonoda, who's particularly disappointed in the second race where he finished 7th, where he was putting Fraga under pressure early on and just dropped back. Just never pushed on in that race. I know what he did in the final race though. He had a fantastic final race. Once again, shocking qualifying. He had issues with the car, but that's probably his best race. The Tour Racing Series so far, coming up from, I think it was 16th he qualified to 4th in the end. And he had the move of the weekend as well in that final race, where he got around the outside the Czech driver, Petr Vacek. I don't know how to say that surname, to be honest. Lots of accents there. But around here, went round the outside with one of the such clean braking as well. It's a superb move. I mean, never seen a move like that all weekend, and he pulled it off brilliantly towards the end of that race. So once again, another dive. Didn't see many moves into that hairpin though, that was surprising. We saw most of the moves going into that back straight, maybe on the inside. I actually saw a move through here in the second race where Jackson Walls, not the second race, third race, where Jackson Walls kind of messed up and he dropped down the order. But I know we're covering Fraga. There we go. But yeah, for the rest of the first race, shall we go back to that? Because I look to my right. So we had Kyle Collette and Liam Sendetti. No, that's the previous race. So we're behind Sonoda, we had Petr Vacek, who, another driver who had his best weekend of the Tour Racing Series so far this year. Really looked at home on this circuit. And qualified really well. He's probably expected to do a bit better, whereas what are these cars doing? Playing a bit of bumper cars there to try and get through. Thanks for giving us the inside. There we go, up to 16. We're making our way through the field nicely. Hopefully I haven't damaged the front ring too much. So yeah, Yeah, the check, very impressive. A bit like Pinto. Lawson as well, very impressive, of course. Frog had his first really off weekend, shall we say. Leading the championship. And he had the pace of Lawson. But he got jumped by Lawson in the second race, in the first squid race. That was a pretty good send. And then just stuck behind his championship rival has, in front he had Pinto getting third. But it's a race at the front between Peter, the Czech, and Jackson Walls. He got the reverse squid pole. There's another car jumping over that inside curb. Was Jackson finished 6th in that first race, ahead of Edo Cohen, who had a good start. He's really good and consistent, a bit like he was at Tonga. It was good to see for him. One of his best weekends of the season. Send it again. Oh, that was a bit too far back. So he's still got the run though. There we go, make our way up towards the top 10. But you had Cohen, you had Oliver Rasmussen, who's got the odd podium here or there, but has hardly been very up and down as the day. Expected slightly more from him, to be honest. And he ran out of the top 10 there. Gregor Saucy and Rui Andrade, his best result of the season so far, having a great run, the Angolan. And for Saucy, that is a very down weekend for the Swiss driver. They did a nice feature on him actually in the build up to the third race, where they talked about his history, how his father runs a karting facility, so he started karting at the age of 3, did Saucy, and basically grew up round karts and cars. But yeah, disappointing for the Swiss driver at the business end of the season, where he's fighting for a top 5 in his championship, just to go off the ball a bit. Very disappointing to see. So he ran out the top 10. Just had the young Dutchman Van der Helm, the 16-year-old. He's joined mid-season, but seems to be improving with each race he does. Looking very impressive he is. Considering, you know, his lack of experience behind the car. A bit like Emmanuel Denner earlier in the season. And the Frenchman, after his victory, has not been good, and after his crash in that first race, he didn't actually take part in any more races. He's ruled out for Sunday and the rest of the weekend. There's a slow car in front. That's a normal line through that corner. A bit of a send as well there on Smiley. So interesting first race, very interesting second race. Jackson Walls getting his first victory in the Tour Racing Series ahead of the Czech, having a very good battle, a bit of a repeat of the first race. So Frogov, Lawson, you had Walls and the Czech, and then Carl Pinto behind holding off Lawson. Immense amount of pressure from the young Kiwi. But the young Argentine driver was very impressive in holding him back. They also had a bit of darts in turn 1, a bit of darts down the back straight, but couldn't find a way through. It's a very impressive defence from Pinto. So go finally getting through. Oh, bumping wheels, I like. Still here, mate. That's how you be aggressive into the chicane. But behind the top three, you had Lawson, you had Fraga in 5th, ahead of Saucy. He's a bit better in the first grid race. Had a very good start, did Gregor. Fraga didn't start ahead of Lawson, he got crowded out. He's very good at starts and restarts, this Fraga. Lawson not so much compared to him. But on this occasion, Lawson got the upper hand. Like, Fraga had a good start but got boxed in a bit like he did at Highlands when he was battling Saucy for the victory in the first race. But Saucy just... was it the first race or the second? It's the first race, I think. But they meant to be battling for victory, but yeah, Lawson just jumped both of them on that occasion, then he jumped Fraga on this occasion. There's lots of locking up in front. Yeah, a bit disappointing from Fraga, and then he had Sonoda down in 7th, Ido Cohen in 8th, who made a mistake actually, if I remember right. He was actually higher up, but yeah, just lost a couple of positions, the Israeli. But he still finished ahead of Andrad, with another good top 10 result. And then Van der Helm ran out the top 10. Ahead of Rasmussen. And Rasmussen trying to pull some moves off as well, but was very erratic on occasion. The Dutchman ahead of him. And in the final race, there's Elo again. We don't have the straight line speed, do we? I mean, we're using the same setup from Highlands, it's not a surprise to be honest. And in the final race, you had Lawson. A comfortable victory, he really was a man on the mission. He won the New Zealand trophy. New Zealand Motorsport Trophy, I think it's called. He had some great names on that trophy. Youngkey joins them now, and it's just superb driving. He's just quick from the get-go in that race. So you go around the outside of the slipstream, it should make the move easy, you know. Get to the top 10. Yeah, you comfortably won ahead of Colapinto, who grabbed a fantastic second. Ahead of Zendedi, who had an incident in the second race. He caused the safety car in the second race, or almost did. He actually crawled it back, but he had electronics issues, if I remember right. But then the German superb in the final race. Great qualifying. Drove pretty well as well. Ahead of Sonoda in the end, and young Czech. The Peter. Then Ido Koda with his best result of the weekend in 6th. Having a furious battle with Carlo Kayet. And Igor Fraga, who's down in 8th. Because he got punched by Saucy at the beginning of the race. Well, he was battling again with Lawson those first couple of quarters, but then through the chicane. By braking for this corner, Saucy just tapped him round and he spun the inside air. Like we almost did. And so he went all the way back to last, but thanks to Peterson's incident in the first couple of laps where he went into the back of someone as well, losing his front wing, that caused the safety car to come out. So Fraga from the back from 16th came all the way back up to 8th in the end. A superb drive through the field. As I said, it was a bit messy in front of him on a couple of drivers as well. But yeah, that could be a championship saving drive there. So Lawson with superb chicane takes the lead in the championship heading to the final round on the Chris Amon circuit in Manfield. And to battle for the championship and the New Zealand Grand Prix crown. So we get punted again. Saw that coming. Thought you couldn't avoid it. Because once again they just bash that curve on the inside. There's an update to rFactor 2, and they do know that our opponents are stupid, so they will try and update that. So we're taking back our places, okay? As we're back up to 9th. Might have got a penalty from there. But yeah, behind Frog you had Van der Helm as well, in with another 9th place. Just improving 1 place each race was the young Dutchman. Around out the top 10 as Bennett was Jackson Walls, who again very up and down the Australian. I mean, you could just channel that pace into some consistency. He'd be winning more races, no doubt, in future with the Australian. As he was ahead of Rasmussen, Spike Colbecker, who had another forgettable weekend. Lucas Pettersson, who pitted for New Nose and came up in 30. Then Henning Enquist, Rui Andrade, Axel Knowles, who's still racing there, and Gregor Saucy in 70th in the end. And of course, Meo Denner did not race, but that final race was insane with the safety cars, with some superb battling with the mixed up fields. It's fantastic racing. I hope to see lots more racing around here as well. I hope to see supercars here. But yeah, we've got one more round to cover. So we'll do that next time, as it's Fraga 3 Lawson in the championship. Maybe in the final round as well. So we'll find out tomorrow who came out on top, unless you watched the news this past weekend. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Let's take the old circuit, shall we? Or not.